on sports. First American Bank's 4th down on 4.
Welcome into 4th down. Sean Payton said he wanted his team to be a distraction for all of those fans coming back from a week somewhere else. But would the Saints be a welcome distraction? Through 4 preseason games, the black and gold had simply added to the list of questions that hung around their neck following last season. That 7-9 albatross, if you will, still prompted more second guessing than applause, really. But this afternoon, the Saints provided answers, and as evidenced by the final score, those answers seem to be the correct ones. Some questions today answered before kickoff. Mike McKenzie, still not 100%. He was inactive. And Deuce McAllister, he was in uniform, but never on the field.
Going into it, I knew I probably wouldn't even get in the game, just because we had to have another running back. Stecker was going to go, so whenever you can get in, make plays, but, I'll be ready when I'm needed.
That was the next question. If needed, can the Saints offense function without number 26? 6 plays was all it took to score the first touchdown of 2008. Another question for the Saints, how would Jeremy Shockey be used? Initially, the answer was sparingly. His first catch didn't come until the second quarter. At halftime, his numbers, 3 grabs, 10 yards.
I don't think I had a pass in the first quarter or anything, so I just, wanted to get in the game, and eventually it came.
After a big first down catch in the third quarter, Shockey showed why Sean Payton wanted him on this roster.
I love it. I think it brings an energy to our crowd and to our offense, and we welcome that.
For the second time in his NFL career, Reggie Bush scored the game-winning touchdown against Tampa Bay. And in the process, perhaps answered the question, in 2008, would the Saints get 06 Reggie or 07 Reggie?
When I hear people critique him and they clump 06 in there, it tells me a little bit about the person that's critiquing him, because he had an outstanding year 2 years ago. And so, he's looking to get back in stride. I thought he was dynamic today.
Defensively, the questions were abundant. Would a pass rush non-existent in the preseason finally emerge? 2 sacks, 6 hurries on Jeff Garcia said yes.
A lot of people have been harping on our defensive line won't get enough pressure, so all season that's all we worked on, get pressure, keeping the rush. Your guys up front dominating, you have an excellent game.
Pressure up front had a trickle-down effect. Joey Galloway, whose gaudy numbers against the Saints of late could have single-handedly made him a first-ballot Hall of Famer, held to just 6 catches, 56 yards. None went for more than 13 yards.
We couldn't let Galloway continue to abuse us like he has in the past. I think we did pretty well today. We flew around a little bit, made a couple plays, and of course we made a couple monsters too. But overall, we didn't give up anything deep. Made them check it down, and we got some really good pressure up front. That really helped us out.
But the biggest question was, could the defense make a play when it needed to?
The last play specifically, we did. We brought in new personnel that I don't think we showed them throughout the game. We had someone spying the quarterback, and Scott Fajita was the one who was spying the quarterback, and he read his eyes and made a great play on the ball. Got to have some little bullets. Got to keep firing.
And now the next question is, do they have more bullets? Studio, WWL AM and FM's Bobby Hebert. First off, thanks for joining us. And we talked about it. There were so many questions surrounding this team, but I think maybe who gave the loudest answer was the defense, from back to front and all in the middle. Who stood out the most? When you looked and saw Mike McKenzie inactive, and you saw Tracy Porter and Randall Gage starting, especially with what Tracy Porter did in the preseason, you had to be a little bit worried when the game kicked off.
Well, if you look overall, the defense just stepping up. I think in all phases, they were able to make plays. I mean, Charles Grant playing like the Charles Grant that we expect, considering the amount of money that we have invested in him. Will Smith getting a push. Cedric Ellis of the middle. Jonathan Vilma leading the team in tackles. So I think it was a total team effort. Scott Fajita getting the big interception at the end. But I think what really, I guess, stepped to the forefront as a group, I have to say the cornerbacks. I mean, without McKenzie, Randall Gay did not disappoint, Tracy Porter, and even Aaron Glenn. You can see at times they were picking on all of them and giving opportunities, so they all stepped up. And actually, I think that's what's so encouraging for Saints fans, that you've seen defensive backs actually batting balls down, being in position to make plays. The only thing that was a little discouraging, I guess it started out with about 2 minutes left in the third quarter. They got worn down a little bit as far as missing tackles.
Right.
You know, they were in position to make tackles.
Yeah,
just missing tackles, but they were in position to make the plays. But overall, I mean, outstanding performance by the defense. And you're looking at, you know, the offense with Drew Brees. You expect him to make plays, but I think you have to give the victory to the defense really stepping up.
And that's what this team has needed to do so much. They'd always talked about it all starts up front, and it really did, because you saw it. They hassled Jeff Garcia today, and it was really, last year you didn't see cornerbacks in position to bat down balls, and Tracy Porter did it in the end zone. I mean, when it really counted. Right,
Randall Gay, Tracy Porter, they're all able to make big plays. And yeah, that's really going to be the key, because you know the offense, I really think now with the addition of Jeremy Shockey, how they'll be able to keep defenses off balance with the run and the pass, is can the defense truly step up and be like they were in 06? Somewhere, not necessarily even top 10, you know, 11 or 12 in the league. If they can do that, I think they'll be in great shape. And you're looking at a guy like Jeff Garcia, who has great scramble ability. I mean, we got him sacked a couple of times. Charles Grant got a sack. Bobby McCray comes up with a big sack, another addition in free agency that we acquired in the offseason. You know, next week, I look, if they can get this type of pressure, a guy like Jason Campbell, they'll probably sack him 4 or 5 times. So, yeah, you got to be encouraged by the defense performance.
And then also what it does is, and you saw it through about the first 2.5, almost 3 quarters, is Sean Payton doesn't have to play the home run type of game. He played field position, and he never had to deviate from that, because he knew that his defense was going to be able to help him out too. Last year, he wasn't able to do that. He had to go for the home run a lot more times than he probably wanted to.
Had to go for the home run, and what's encouraging also, you can see why they kept Devery Henderson on board with his speed. Only 1 catch, I believe it was 84-yard, a big touchdown reception. But yeah, it was kind of almost a tale of 2 halves as far as you look at penalties and you look at field position. The Saints obviously shooting themselves in the foot, having 6 penalties the first half, only having 1 the second half. Then Tampa Bay started out the second half. They had penalties go against them. So, yeah, that was a big key. It's all about field position, because it was really 2 evenly matched teams, and it was just fortunate that the Saints able to come out on top. Ideally, what you'd want is at the end of the game to be able to run out the clock, get a couple of first downs. Pierre Thomas goes down. They don't execute on 3rd down, but this helps the whole team and the whole defense's confidence that they were able to stop him, keep him out of the end zone with Fujita coming up with the interception.
And I think that they needed that shot in the arm, especially after the start last year, all the questions surrounding him. I asked Jonathan Vilma, did you answer questions today? And he emphatically said, yeah, I think we answered some questions today, without a doubt. Bobby Hebert, stick around. Much more with Bobby Hebert later in the show. You're watching 4th Down. More with Bobby Hebert a bit later. Up next, Jonathan Vilma and the Saints answer the bell on defense. Plus, rookie Tracy Porter and the Saints defensive backs finally shut down Joey Galloway. Juan Kincaid joins us in studio to give us his insight on the Saints' unexpected asset. 4th Down continues after the break.
Garcia from the shotgun with 4 wide receivers, 3 to his right, 1 to his left. Work done alongside. Here's Garcia gunning it over the middle. It's intercepted by Fujita. Fujita picks it off, and it's over.
Legendary Jim Henderson on the call. Like Drew Brees and his bum shoulder 2 years ago, linebacker Jonathan Vilma and his surgically repaired knee are this year's reclamation project for the Saints. And as Juan Kincaid explains, through 1 game at least, the reward is severely outweighing the risk.
One of our biggest goals was to start fast and play fast.
And there was plenty of speed coming from the man in the middle of the Saints defense. It was our first real look at Jonathan Vilma, and despite the young linebacker giving his defense a grade of B, we give Vilma an A for impact.
He made a lot of plays out there, and he's a very fast guy, and he came in and controlled the tempo of the game, controlled everybody in that huddle, and made sure everybody knew what was going on, so there was no miscommunication.
In fact, despite a big run by the Bucs' Ernest Graham, the Saints' defense was better than previously advertised. Pressure was applied often by the Saints front seven, and many times it was Velma plugging the holes and shutting down the play, something this defense has rarely gotten from its middle linebacker in years past. But it's clear that Velma is out to make a statement. Thus far, his teammates and Saints fans are reaping the benefits.
He is our leader on defense. You know, for him to come in and step up the way he has, it's amazing. You come in, take control of our defense, get all the calls right, and just trying to get everybody on the same page. And he takes a lot of pride in his leadership role, and I really enjoy it. You know, it makes it easier on us in the back half. He's going to take care of that front seven.
He does a great job right there. I mean, he covers a lot of ground. You've seen the plays he made today. So anytime you have that, it makes my job on the back end so much easier. So I'm glad he's on our team, that's for sure.
Praise for Velma also came from the other side of the ball, as quarterback Drew Brees said he understands all too well what Velma has to go through as the quarterback of the defense.
I think it's very similar because a lot of the times you're calling out the defense. You're obviously you got the headset on, so you're the one relaying it to your guys in the huddle. But then once you break, you know, you're the one calling out for adjustments according to what the offense is given to you from a formation standpoint. You know, being able to recognize just certain tips or tendencies that, you know, offensive guys might give away for you. Just like, you know, I'm looking at defensive guys just trying to get a tip on maybe what they're going to do, and then if that requires me to make a check, then I make the check just like Velma would.
And on a day when Brees was nearly flawless slinging the ball, Velma was equally as impressive, just leading by example.
At the end, you know, we saved the best for last, if you want to put it that way. And then I feel that we have a lot more we can improve on, and I think we're going to get better.
Velma finished with 9 total tackles, 7 of them solo. But, Scott, we saw firsthand just how much of an influence this guy's going to have on this defense. I mean, he makes that entire linebacking core that much better.
Dome Patrol? Can we start saying Dome Patrol too with these guys after just one game? I mean, but it really is night and day.
You know, Kevin Kazor, I asked him the same question. He says he knows about the Dome Patrol. He says that this is a football team right now that's got a long way to go before they can be compared to that team, but that he would like to get them to that point. It's a good defensive football team the Saints have right now. It's the best we've seen in a long, long time with this football team, but at the same time, Dome Patrol is something special. It's going to be a little while before they get to that level, but Jonathan Velma is a perfect starting point for this football team.
And he, along with everyone else on this team, which is something we didn't see last year, didn't even see in the preseason, even if they weren't there to bat balls down, they were right there to limit the yards after catch.
Oh, you're right. We were worried about Mike McKenzie not playing, but you saw guys like Randall Gay and even Josh Bullock's getting in there making plays. And then, of course, Tracy Porter, the rookie. When you look at the roster when this game started, you say, Tracy Porter starting? Yeah, he was starting in place of Mike McKenzie. Actually, Randall Gay was, but Porter starting on the opposite side. It worked out perfectly. Talk to him after the game. This has been a sore spot on the field for this football team for the last many, many years. But to be able to come in and show what you can do, you know, people expect a lot from a high draft pick. And I think you kind of showed them that you have the ability to play in this league.
I mean, definitely. Like you said, they expect a lot of a high draft pick. But, you know, I just took everything in stride. I made plays when opportunity arose for me, and I'm going to continue to do the same thing.
People are looking at Joey Galloway as a guy that just has crushed the Saints for many, many years. I'm sure you guys talked about that in the weeks leading up. You had opportunities to go up against him. Is he as good as advertised? And the fact that you guys were able to shut him down for the most part had to feel good.
I mean, definitely. You know, he is all what he's talked about. You know, he's a speed guy. You know, he runs great routes. He can catch. You know, he has real good hands. But you know, our main focus was to, you know, focus on him and slow him down as much as possible. I think he did a great job in doing it.
First game, first win for this football team. It's a good start because you're going on the road for 2 now.
Oh, definitely. I mean, to get that home win and get to start out 1-0 is big for us. So now we move into, you know, a hostile environment. Week 2, we're a visiting team, so, you know, we definitely have a lot of confidence coming in.
If you want to pick out one play that kind of sets this kid apart from what we've seen in years past, the second quarter play, right before the half, where he bats the ball down basically on a 3rd down play in the end zone. He recovered from getting beat on that play and knocked it down, so the Saints end up giving up a field goal at the end of the half as opposed to a touchdown. That one play right there is what you have to remember about this kid. Again, only a rookie. They expect big things out of him. He has to mature very quickly. You don't know how long Mike McKenzie's going to be out.
And what was important to see, I thought, he makes a play, Randall Gay makes a play, Aaron Glenn make a play, all on Joey Galloway. They tried to find the weak link, and they couldn't find it today, and that's why the Saints are 1-0. Stay with us. The Cajun Cannon's back in studio with more on today's game and which players made statements for more playing time. Stick around.
probably end up going to our deathbed trying to find something to match that Monday night atmosphere. But it was exciting today.
Welcome back into fourth down. An announced crowd at the Superdome, more than 68,000, not a sellout, but definitely vocal. We've pretty much touched on everything that went right, and there was a lot that went right for the Saints. But, you know, if we try to be fair and balanced, if you will, I really want to go back, and you and I were talking about this in that first segment when we talked the series that they had where they could have ran out the clock. 1 first down, and the game's over. The defense held their end of the bargain. The offense, though, needs to be able to get 1 or 2 yards when they need to, and that's going to be the difference probably with or without Deuce. Yeah, you know, especially with Tampa Bay with no timeouts remaining, you saying, well, you know what, you know we're probably going to run the ball, but can you stop us? And that's where I think Deuce was a big factor, getting that push, and that's a little lacking with Reggie. You know, when he gets hit initially, like he'll go down, where even Pierre will get that extra, you know, 2 or 3 yards. And so that's something where you like to close out games when you have the opportunity. You know what? They know we're going to run, but we're still able to get first downs. Yeah, they could have got 1 first down, possibly 2. That's the most frustrating thing to you know, to opponent, whenever you could do that and accomplish that and saying, hey, they know what we're doing, but we're still able to will ourselves into first downs and control the line of scrimmage. And this was a problem that lingered from last year. Remember that goal line stand against Philadelphia, unable to push the ball in. Another problem lingering from last year, and Sean Payton doesn't want to talk about last year, but you got to bring it up. Robert Meacham, again, inactive today. First-round pick. Now, if this was a 3rd, 4th-round pick, it wouldn't be a big deal. This is your first-round pick from a year ago who's played in as many NFL regular season games as I have. Well, if you look at it, he still hasn't earned his way. Now, he had an outstanding preseason compared, you know, to last year. I mean, average, I think, you look at the 2 productive games, he had like 8 catches for 200 yards, 25-yard average. But you have to look at who you're going against. When you break it down, look at Patton had the big touchdown catch on that first drive. Marcus Colston, Patton, you know, Lance Moore, Devery Henderson, Terrence Cobble. Who is he going to beat out to truly help and contribute? Now, it's a growing process. Now, at least he was active during preseason, so I don't think he'll be in street clothes throughout the season like he was last year. What do you think it is he's doing? Because when he gets on the field, he was making plays. Is he lining up wrong? I mean, is he just missing stuff? Yeah, I think it's a combination of, I noticed in training camp that mentally, a couple of times when he broke the huddle, he wasn't, you know, in the proper position as far as where the offense, his alignment was second nature to him. And so you can't afford to have any of those mistakes. As far as being a gunner on punt cover, you know, he's not really there to contribute on special teams like a Terrence Copper. You look at Lance Moore, the trust factor, when Coach Payton puts him back there instead of Reggie Bush, his hands, him truly catching the ball. I think Robert Meacham will be in there eventually, but he has to earn the job. You just don't want to hand it to a player. And right now, when you can say realistically, who is he better than in the receiving corps that's playing? And I don't think we've seen that yet, that he's really said, you know, Robert Meacham needs to be in there. And I think eventually he will be the more experience he gets. How much would you have liked to have had Jeremy Shockey as a tight end? You know what's so great about Jeremy Shockey, and I think Saints fans truly appreciate this. You know, you see Charles Grant making a play, getting the fans fired up. You don't really see that from an offensive player. So Jeremy Shockey making the big catch on first down. I know at least there's maybe 2, maybe even 3 third-down catches, getting the first downs, taking the hit. Because I'm telling you, they talking smack out there, talking trash to one another. Jeremy Shockey is not intimidating. I think Coach Payton embraces that because the mindset of the offense, you know, like getting all bowed up, you know, first down, showing that enthusiasm, excitement, you know, 6 catches. But Shockey not ever being in a Saints uniform, I thought it was a very productive day for him. So just his relationship with Drew Brees is going to continue to grow and grow. And Shockey, well, I'm telling you, will be a big part of this offense. So it will not surprise me he stays healthy. That type of guy, I mean, he'll have 80, maybe even 90 catches. Even the media in New York said, Shockey stays healthy for 16 games. You're looking at a tight end that can have 90 to 100 catches in a season. And all of his catches came at big moments. He may turn into, it looks like he may already, he may be Drew Brees' safety valve. Bobby Hebert, thanks so much for joining us. Thank you, Scott. Always a pleasure. Stick around. We wrap up fourth down after the break. Special thanks to Bobby Hebert for spending some time with us tonight, for Juan Kincaid and everyone else that makes this show work. Thanks for staying up real late with us. In the words of Angela Hill, take a hike, Ike. We'll see you next week on Fourth Down.